What's up, guys? This is Astranox. Another round of nerfs for NicoNana Inferno difficulty, and now together with that first nerf, it is much easier. So I'm gonna be running different teams in there, and I'll show you how much easier it is if you were not quite there to take her out before, you know. Try it again. It's gonna be so much easier now. It's pretty ridiculous. So let's go in there, right? I have my attack buff, right? And then let's say I still bring Viper, and let's say I will be bringing, I mean, I could have even sustain in here, because like having attack down and speed down is big, especially if we're able to constantly dispel, remove that speed buff on NicoNana and attack down. Then let's bring Cash the Guard. Let's just see how this thing performs, right? Because the combination of attack down plus defense buff on us is getting stunned straight off the bat is awful. We didn't even land attack down and speed down. What the hell was that? But the nerfs are so substantial that actually we are still dealing close to full damage with Yelly. That is big. That's we just stole 2 buff. I just maxed out for skill 1. That's huge right there. That's very nice. This immunity cannot go up fast. Like, it needs to go up fast. Like, so you would have your Cash the Guard faster than this, so he would just pre-buff the team before any attack comes your way, right? And it will make things so much easier for you. So here, let's see the damage. We got speed down, so it's kind of like full damage here. It's working. Like, these are teams that I couldn't run before here because, you know, the speed difference, NicoNana had more speed than me. And like you can see, it's running well. Like, we don't have Lily in there anymore, and it works just fine. Look at that. Easy. Actually, I got crit rate on one of the main stat on the right side of my module for Viper. This is actually making him deal some extra damage, and he's odd, right, versus Reason, so that actually makes it easier for him to deal extra damage as well. One of the big advice I can give you is that instead of, like, you know, continuous battle, if you don't have a good success rate, just challenge. And especially if you have a fast team and you're free to play, maybe you don't refill anymore, right? You try to be efficient, trying to save your Hydra Crystal until you have like a better success rate, until there's a double drop rate event. You're saving your Hydra Crystal until you're farming threshold on Inferno with a good success rate, right? So in the meantime, you know, you're trying to build the right Animus to make it work. So I'm going to change this team, right? So I'm going to have a team with Yelly and a different team with Didding. So here I'm going to have my attack buff and survivability increase Valerian, and I'll bring Viper in there. Instead of Claws just gets like pretty much one-shotted. If Valerian is there, she can survive longer, but it's not super reliable. You know, having Viper as odd versus Reason is big. It helps a lot there for survivability. But the thing is, Viper has speed down, right? And has attack down. This is major, as well as the fact that he's able to remove after skill ups 2 buffs, which, you know, the right side ad will put on NicoNana speed buff and attack buff. So if you don't have any attack down debuff on NicoNana and she has the attack buff up, she's gonna start to deal a ton of damage, and she's gonna start to like one-shot your team. And it's also a lot about the speed difference between you and NicoNana. You want to be above that. So by putting speed down debuff on NicoNana, as well as putting speed buff on your team, will make things so much easier. If you don't have Lily, just bring an Animus that has speed buff for your team, and then you're going to be able to just do really well for yourself. For that speed buff, Marvel can work for that speed down as well. Speed down and resist down, that's actually big. If you want to have a speed buff, yes, she's very good. Kazami Kazuyo, I'm still to build her, but like that speed buff is huge, and the reduction of all Animus and shells killed by 1 turn is huge. Huge. And that's a 3-turn speed buff, guys, after skill ups, and this thing has a 4-turn cooldown, right? And actually, I believe this might actually reduce the skill cooldown as well, because it says reducing all Animuses and Shell skill cooldown by 1. It doesn't say it doesn't affect her. Like Lily has something that says here, it says here, this skill's cooldown cannot be reduced. So it's not saying that for her, right? It doesn't say like the other allies beside herself or something like that, right? So yeah, speed buff, major for this, and speed down on the boss. So let me just run this. I've never ran this actual setup, this particular setup, so you don't even have to target. So the thing about why do you go in challenge instead of going continuous battle, right? While challenge, you can restart the battle if it doesn't go your way, which means that you're not losing 1 stamina. That's actually big, right? So right there, look at how little damage NicoNana is doing. Of course, over time, she's going to start to deal more and more damage. But like, yeah, now it's about removing these buffs. That's the thing. Like, do you want to go with a Viper that's like fast and you get that attack down debuff and speed down debuff? It's fine because Viper is able to just have his skill 3 cycle faster, right, when your team gets I think attacked by critical hits or something like that. So yeah, mine is kind of like fully skilled up. This seems to go pretty well, and also debuffs expired on NicoNana, or Yelly is able to steal them. So this team very solid. But like, if you don't like your damage dealer, it doesn't have to be Yelly, right? It doesn't have to be Diding. Maybe you don't have them, right? You can bring Rosa in there, perfectly fine, right? Rosa at affinity advantage, so like she's getting that free 15% crit rate, she's dealing 15% more damage, right? And also she's less likely to receive a critical hit and less chance to receive a debuff, and also the final damage is reduced by 15%. So you bring an odd Animus in here, it will make things so much easier. So yeah, of course Rosa will make things much better for you. So don't forget about that as well. Like, there's just other plenty of other ones that you could be bringing in there. Kashi the Guard can be great in here to actually put that 2-turn immunity, that defense buff. So that's another team right there. Let's try something else. We can be running Diding as well. You don't have Yelly, maybe you do have Diding. What if we, okay, now we don't have the removal of buff, the steal of buff with Yelly's skill 1. Look at that, it's beautiful. This is maxed out. Of course, the passive is priority number 1. And the skill 1, you can bring it to like maybe the 240 multiplier, or actually skill 3 is really nice to have 100% uptime on the crit rate buff, because the crit rate buff doesn't get consumed the first time you use it, right? So you have 100% uptime on this thing with the minus 1 turn skill. Anyways, it's not a Yelly showcase, but let's go here. Let's put Diding. Oh, Diding, Valerian, very realistic, Viper, right? Like, these are Animuses that if you have them, you should be building them. You should have them built, right? Kashi the Guard, I mean, his speed is not quite up there. So should I just replace him, right? What if I bring Sustain? What if we just bring... My Ling Lao is very slow, right? But that immunity could be nice. But I think I'm going to go with my Mia because she's faster. Right, the problem is that I don't have skill ups here. I don't have a way to reduce the cooldown of this thing. I don't have time weave, you know, the full time weave set. I don't have like a Halloween or Codex of Magic on her, so I'll still bring her, right? And I'll show you my burst Diding team, and you'll see how much faster and easier it is now. If you okay, it's fine, it's gonna get removed. Oh wait, that doesn't actually remove that. It reduced debuff duration by 1, but not on control effects, I believe. It reduced 1 turn on the debuffs on your team by 1 for things that are not control movement related. So, okay, let's just see how this thing performs. Yeah, the damage it's not so good. And like, we need to get that attack down and speed down. Like, it's pretty imperative now with this team. You can see that the damage of Diding is really in the struggles. We're taking a lot of damage. Valerian helping a bit here, and of course Artisan is big. There we go. There's the removal. We don't have attack down. I don't understand. Like, my Viper has over 100% effect accuracy, and like his skills already have like a 75% chance to land attack down and speed down. So yeah, but at least he's gonna use his skill 3 soon enough because he's doing a bunch of counter attacks. So there we go. He's gonna be using it hopefully soon. Now the damage is still bad. Even if we have the speed down, kind of like countering the speed buff that they have, it's not quite enough. So yeah, that like a bit too late, Viper, a bit too late. So yeah, sometimes you need to get your timing to work properly. So if you do restart, you're not losing stamina, so you can just keep on trying different things. So that's my burst team. This one, like, I would just reset this all the time. I would have a success rate of like, I mean, after doing it a bunch of time, it seems to be like 40%, or maybe it could be lower if you have a very bad luck streak. The thing about bidding is you have the vulnerable buff. That's 30% more damage on the target. So on that second burst attack, it's huge. It's huge. Yang's pushing bidding before the speed buff, and look, like NicoNana got destroyed. Like, it didn't used to be that easy. The second pass of bidding would basically, like, with the vulnerable buff, I would like get NicoNana down with the second burst, or very close to it. If I don't have the vulnerable debuff applied, then it would require like Lily to call Didding into an assist, and potentially even Didding getting a skill 1 off as well. But that would like be enough to take her down. And now I could just like, before I show you guys my stats, let's try something else, right? Let's go with, oh, you know what? But I wouldn't have speed down. Because if I remove claws, I need speed down somehow. So I take claws out, but then I wouldn't have defense down. That's why Yelly, right? Like having a damage dealer that has defense down, that I don't have to, I can replace claws, right? Like with Viper, plus damage dealer that has defense down. So that worked out. But like since I'm running Didding, it's yeah. Like I could replace Yang. Actually, at this point, I can replace Yang with Valerian because I would get attack buff. And also, I got some protection for my team, right? For Claw, she can survive that invulnerability, keeping her alive, the one-shot, not happening. And also, like, the Hazy Dream giving attack buff, right? It's attack buff and defense buff, and then, you know, you reapply Hazy Dream, and then it happens again. So it's pretty reliable attack buffer right there. And especially, even if your damage dealer goes first and you don't have to speed tune, Valerian will still apply that attack buff, which is big. So I'm gonna be running this, right? That's probably gonna work because now NicoNana, like speed reduction, the fact that NicoNana actually has less health. It's like 20% less health, 10% less speed. So yeah. And also less attack, like 15% less attack. So like it makes it so much easier. Pet, the shell, and like you see, like NicoNana's like that's it, down. Like it works really well. Actually, like this is better than Yang with Didding because I don't need Yang. Like Yang, I use him because if the fight's gonna get it's gonna be a longer fight, then he can potentially remove the attack buff and speed buff. But to be honest, he's not really speed tuned. He's too fast to make it happen. There's a lot of different comps that you can be running. You don't need to have Didding. You don't need to have Yelly. You can, like I said, run a damage over time. You don't even need Shadows and Nia. You can run, you know, just one damage dealer. One Animus that drops damage over time. It can be like Obo, or it could be Fangus, and then you just support. You support the team. You make sure the team doesn't go down, and that will allow you to just, you know, be able to tank the content. Like Ling Lao, if you make her fast enough, Catch the Guard, like if you have enough speed to get that immunity going, Catch the Guard works really good because that's a 2-turn immunity. And even you can have Catch the Guard paired with Ling Lao, right? You can have like Obo or Fangus, that's 3 of them. And then you add whatever else you need, like a Viper. Viper makes it so much easier because like Viper, this is huge. Attack down and speed down. Okay, 65% chance, not 75% chance. The 75% chance is to dispel 2 buff with a skill up. 3 skill ups instead of 1 buff removal is going to be 2. So yeah, Viper works really well. So, you know, I worked on his skill ups. Very, very good. So I'm just going to show you real quick. So you already saw the skill up. That's my Yelly. That's the modules, right? I'm not gonna individually show every module. I just lucked out. I went from 15%, right, the purple one to the golden one. So that's big. Eventually I'll get the mythic one. This can go up to 12%. So yeah, I can squeeze extra bit of damage. The Revelation working really well for her. That's my claws, right? That's the stats on her. You can pause if I go too quick. A lot of work to be doing, like to work on these later down the line, right? That's my Lily, if you wondered. 307 speed, and that's what I have. Artisan is actually very, very good. You don't need to see that in this video. So yeah, Artisan, you can stack that. You can have that on multiple Animus, and it will make it so you're just having barrier constantly going up on whoever's wearing it, plus whoever has the lowest health on the team. So right, like if like Viper, he can definitely be wearing Artisan, which I am, right? So yeah, I really like Artisan. I need to actually power these up as well. So like I need so many training data. It's pretty ridiculous how many I need. I've shown Yang, so that's my Yang. He's very fast. He's way too fast, right? Because I just need to make sure that he's fast enough that he goes before like my Real Mocha and Doki Doki goes. That's the thing. And even like with Yelly, it doesn't even work because my Yelly has 221 speed. Because after skilling her up, she just has way too much speed. That's the thing. Like you get the skill ups and then getting 15 speed on top of what she had before, and already before she was getting pushed too much with Lily. So sometimes you don't want to actually skill up Lily skill 2 because it will be hard to speed tune your whole team. Because if she's pushing like Real Mocha and then Real Mocha is now going before Kazuyo the Reverie, if she's going before like a buffing Yang for Doki Doki, so you need less, you know, crit rate on her, then it's going to be a struggle. You're going to need to farm more speed, get lucky, maybe enhance modules you don't really want to enhance because they're not that good. They're like temporary ones. I mean, all our modules are pretty much temporary one unless we lucked out big time. But yeah, like that's going to be something you don't want to put yourself in that position. It's going to mess things up, and then there's no reconfigure event going on. So yeah, I would hold off on the skill up on Lily. That's a big one right there. That's my Valerian. Just stack HP on her. You can even have defense. You can even have Artisan on her, and I'll eventually do that. I'll put Artisan on Valerian. I just want Artisan pretty much everywhere. That thing is just broken. Ling Lao is way too slow. Like Ling Lao needs to be faster. She need to, you know, get that immunity going, and of course skill ups would be big. Having her on Bramble with skill 1 skilled up would be great. Actually, Catch the Guard is like too slow. Actually, what's up with, I thought he look at his Artisan is not even powered up. Like that's the thing. I can't have Artisan everywhere because like I need to like put it on the Animus that I use more often. And you can see like look at his modules, they need to be enhanced. Like look at these things, right? Like there's no speed on that because I put the time move with speed on some of the other Animus that I use more often. But his gear is like, it works, but I just need to put a lot of Etheria coins to enhance this. But that's the problem. We don't. Oh, nice. We don't have Etheria coin. Those things get depleted in like minutes, sometimes even seconds. Even if you have millions, it's gone in minutes. Like just a few minutes gone. All right, because like a lot of times we're gonna be in a situation where like we have the modules equipped. You know that they're good. The substats are good. Like everything is great, but then you don't have the Etheria coins. After you do a lot of farming, you have the right modules, but you need to enhance them, and you don't have the Etheria coins, right? So yeah, of course, like Rosa, like if I had her, if I worked on her, but like I lucked out, I got Yelly, so I would like build Rosa if I didn't. But yeah, I'll build her later down the line. She deals tremendous damage, like really crazy with that passive, completely ridiculous, right? So yeah, there's a lot of ways to go about it, guys. Like don't sleep on Kazami Kazuyo. Like if you need that speed buff, man, the cooldown reduction, like she's gonna be big. She's gonna be big for you, and dispelling as well. That's the thing. Like she can remove buff from the target, can bring her in all sort of content, and then you got the speed down. So like speed buff plus speed down, that's what you need for NicoNana. So if you build your team like tanky, you can definitely have like Kazami Kazuyo in there, you know, to make your team use more skills often and make your team lap the enemy, especially if you get speed down and speed buff on your team. Like it will just make things so much easier for you, right? So like I didn't have to build her yet because I lucked out big time. It took me 2 weeks to get my first, you know, Apex SSR in the game, but yeah, I managed to get her. So why would I not build her, and why would I not use her as free to play, right? So yeah, anyways, let us know what you guys think about all that in the comment section. I'm Astranox. Good luck with that. Yeah, do. Peace out for now.